Perez. Bailey Davis. Leah Brown. Olivia Thompson. And June Welch, starting lineup there for Woodruff High School Wolverines, our visiting team. Now for our Landrum Lady Cardinals. Here's the starting lineup tonight. Number 15, Kate Murray. Number 8, Tiffany Elder. Number 14, Brooke Sherman. Number 20, Emma Cooper. Number 19, Katie Stokes. Number 11, Perla Alviar. Number 12, Sydney Stokes. Number 9, Ada Martin. Number 6, Elizabeth Kolsnick. Number 4, Caroline Johnson. Number 17, Alexa Shaw. That's your Landrum Lady Cardinals starting lineup for tonight's game. Let's play some soccer.
All right, well, you can hear the excitement down there on the Landrum bench already. Good evening, everyone. I'm Luke Ruff, live from Cardinal Stadium here at Landrum High School, the site of the first streamed athletic event of the spring sports season. Had a couple of hang-ups on my end. Finally got around to being able to broadcast. Had actually my season started up last Saturday. We were down in Tampa streaming an arena game. This is the first District 1 event set to be streamed. And, man, I tell you, from now up all the way up until June, I believe, we are going to have an absolutely packed streaming schedule. Mostly 4 or 5 games a week from here on out, for the most part, save for spring break. But right now, we're going to start things off in the most humble of places at the old soccer field here at Cardinal Stadium. Should be a good matchup between the Wolverines of Woodruff and the Cardinals of Landrum. Sort of a non-divisional matchup for the time being. I know Landrum baseball is at least beginning division play tomorrow. We'll be streaming that game. The C team and the varsity team going to be taking on SCA tomorrow. All right, and the clock is set. And Landrum with an early takeaway, making her way down the field now is... I underestimated how difficult it's going to be to see the numbers here. That could be something to keep an eye on. I believe that is number 9, Ivy Kate Rhodes, and now sending it out of bounds is... Man, those are some really, really tiny numbers. I believe that was number 19, Shania Hernandez Simas. And, oh, there it is. Yeah, the ball went way out of frame, so Woodruff's got it now. Set to check this one in. That is number 25. And another takeaway there by the Cardinals. Kicked it right to one of those Landrum defenders and kind of slowing things down. Still going now, and oh, a missed kick, still on the move, and Rhodes able to corral it, sends it right to one of the Wolverines, and it's taken away by Landrum. Back to, yep. I tell you, this camera mount of ours is going to be getting a workout today. This has been a lot of back and forth so far. Try and get the clock set at the next stoppage. Rolls out of bounds. 8. All right, I think we're in the clear. There might be a 1 second delay between the stream clock and the clock in the stadium, but we're going to be playing half-hour halves in the JV game, 40-minute halves, I believe, in the varsity game, and this is number 12. Number 12, Sydney Stokes, set to check this one in for Landrum, and Woodruff's got it back for a moment, and they send it out of bounds. And set to check it in is number 19 for the Lady Cardinals. That's going to be Katie Stokes. And really catching some hang time on its way out of bounds. Right back to the Wolverines, though. To this point, I don't know that the ball has even crossed midfield, save for that opening kick, which Landrum took right away. Been playing very sound defense so far. Bailey Davis, the goalie for the Wolverines. And now Landrum looking like they might have the ball and kind of getting it underway now. Headed out of bounds and needed a save from number 9, Ada Martin. They got it. And now Martin sends it right into the shin of one of those Wolverine defenders. Gets it back and sends it, kind of splits some defenders. And now with an open lane that is number 17 for the Wolverines, though that window's closing quickly. Or check that, number 11, and it goes out of bounds. No. Brought back in by the Cardinals and then taken away by the Wolverines for a moment, and now it's headed out. Number 14, Leah Brown, the one that's put it out of play there, and Landrum making quick work of getting this one back in. Martin goes right between the legs of one of those defenders and now sends it straight to another player. Kicking it out of bounds is number 8 for the Wolverines. That's Jocelyn Perez. Can't quite hang on to it there. Checking it in for Landrum is Stokes again and throws it. Tried to get it over to Martin. Was really going to have to thread the needle there, and it falls to the ground and heads out of bounds. And checked right back in by Perez. Or she's going to give everyone a moment to get out of the penalty box, making their way downfield. And she sent it right to Martin again. And right now, both sides trying to find an opening, or at least, whoa, and kicking that one right into the open field. Landrum able to get it back. Martin trying to make a move, and now 2 players sending it towards that Woodruff goal. Martin might have a lane. This is going to be tricky, and looks like, oh, she keeps it from going out of bounds. Oh, and a nice save there by Bailey Davis, the goalie for the Wolverines. And it does not go in, man. Crisis averted there. And Woodruff maybe going to have a chance to get this out of their own end zone effectively. And we've got it across midfield, though Landrum's got it back now. And they send it right into number 14. That's Leah Brown again. And there's a little fighting for it. And, whoa, got a player tripped. Whistle sound. And that's going to be a yellow card. Did not catch the number of the Cardinal involved there. We've got one trotting off the field. Looks to be, can't quite see it because of the ponytail. I think that's number 15, Kate Murray. I'm going to sub out for the time being. Looked like incidental contact to me, but enough to merit a stoppage of play. Clock continues to roll, ticking below 24 minutes now, and Landrum almost was able to get it, or at least get a good lane going. And now with another takeaway, both players trying to get something going. And now Lady Cardinals are going to try to take their time a little bit here, I imagine. Let everybody get downfield and then try and make some moves. Or no, they send it straight to the goal where it's picked up by Davis. And now she'll have an opportunity to get rid of it. And a chest pass goes right into a wall of Wolverines. And now another scramble for the ball, going to be right on that line. And looks like Landrum's got it for the time being. And now they got it back to Woodruff. Woodruff, not a ton of players to beat. And then they send it right over to another one of those Cardinal defenders. And now Leah Brown trying to make a move again. Almost had an opening there. I believe that's Perez. Could not get it to her, though. Taken away by the Cardinals. And now that is Stokes. Sending it right for the goal. Davis. Easy stop there. So 3 shots for Landrum so far. Nothing doing so far. Nothing doing to this point. But Woodruff has not gotten a single shot into this point. Again, the ball, has stayed on this side of the field almost the entire time. Woodruff has gotten it across once or twice, maybe. Oh, we got a goal! Davis couldn't get down in time. And that is, can't quite get the number there. And it's Landrum taking the early lead, 1-0, waiting on that player to just kind of turn around and face the camera so I can get a number. And we'll get it at some point. In the meantime, Woodruff's got it across midfield, and the goal goes to number 9. That is Ada Martin scoring the first points for Landrum in this matchup. And now Woodruff, we got some kind of stoppage here. They're trying to set something up, going out of the circle. They've got it to Brown. And now Brown tries to send it over to Perez, and it's taken away by the Cardinals and then brought back in by Woodruff. And then, is it going out of bounds? It's going to be close. Yes, it's headed onto the track, so Landrum, I believe, will be getting it back. Nope, they're going to keep it with Woodruff. Say one of the Lady Cardinals was the last one to touch it. And now trying to work a little closer to the goal. Landrum might have gotten a good defensive stand there. Back around the 40-yard line, heading to midfield, but Woodruff does have the ball. Martin trying to take it away here, getting dangerously close to that line, and Martin kind of kicks it out. I believe they're going to keep this one. Nope. I figured Martin was the last one to touch it. Instead, it's going back to the Lady Cardinals, and it is thrown right to Perez, and then there's a major tussle for it. Martin trying to get in there and find an opening. Can't quite get it. And now number 17 for the Lady Cardinals, that is Alexa Shaw trying to make a move. Instead, Woodruff able to get it back on their side of the field once more, only to be taken away by the Lady Cardinals, or at least kicked away for a moment. Now number 2 for the Wolverines, that is Chapman Newsom. Sending it downfield and still kind of bouncing around. Not a lot of progress being made so far. Woodruff very gradually making their way down the field. This is I'll tell you, this is the first soccer game I've ever watched with my own 2 eyes since my upward days. And it's a lot more of a tug of war sort of game than basketball or football has been, where you can usually have, one team trail all the way up and down the field, score, and then the other team goes up and down. It's been, like I said, a lot more like 2 teams pulling on the same rope, just trying to get it to go in one direction at the same time. It's been interesting for me to see. Though I imagine all of you watching at home know the ins and outs of the game far better than I do at this point. And Woodruff able to get that one in, kind of sending it into dangerous territory, up for grabs. And no team has really established a super clean bout of possession yet. Landrum looks like they might have an opening, though, headed right to the corner of the field. Going to be close and really close to going out of bounds, but Landrum is able to keep it in, and now trying to set up a shot. Martin sends it right into the leg. Good defensive play by number 18, I believe. No, it might be 19, Shani Hernandez Sesmas. And flipping this around a little bit more, and Woodruff sends it out of bounds. Leah Brown going to check this one in for the Wolverines. She finds number 11 and now sends it way down the field and well into Cardinal territory. They find one of their teammates down the field. Really nice play there by number. Try and get a number there. Able to get possession back on Woodruff's end for the time being, and now maybe with a little bit of an opening. Oh, and 2 players collide. And we've got a whistle. Clock continues to roll here, closing in on the halfway point of the first half. And now right on the corner of the screen, I believe that is Perez really setting up for a shot. Tried to get in there and did not have enough heat on that one. taken in by the Cardinals for a moment. They've got some grass in front of them. Woodruff retreating right now. They get it across midfield, and it looks like, yep, the Wolverines at least kick it. Goes right back to another one of those Cardinal defenders. I believe that is number 17, Alexa Shaw. Now Martin making her way down the field, sends it right to the goal. Sank a shot earlier and can't quite get this one in. Didn't really have time to set her feet there. And a little kick from Davis gets it right out to midfield, and it heads out of bounds. It'll be Landrum ball, and it looks to me like number 12, Sydney Stokes, checking this one in now. Landrum making a couple of substitutions. Several, actually. Ada Martin heading out, number 17. Again, that's Alexa Shaw, and then one more Cardinal that I couldn't quite catch. And now we've got a little tussle for it right around the 35, and it heads out of bounds once again. They're going to keep it with Landrum. And Ashley Ariza tried to send it in to Katie Stokes. Couldn't quite get it done. And now Leah Brown going to check this one in for the Wolverines. Really sends it right to one of the Landrum defenders on the 40. Or check that as the 35. And now Woodruff with a good opportunity here. Nice play for a moment. And kind of a toss-up here. Could go either way. Landrum's got it back for the time being. And I think that one, yep, heading out of bounds. Haven't really seen one team establish any clear bouts of momentum yet. Mostly been back and forth, save for that early goal by Ada Martin for the Cardinals. Other than that, not a ton of progress being made. Neither team has really had a ton of scoring opportunities. Landrum has certainly been on Woodruff's end of the field far more than Woodruff has been on Landrum's end, but the scoring opportunities not quite there. Woodruff's defense really holding up so far. Have not given Landrum many windows to work with. And clock stops at 15 minutes. They've got it resumed now. We are halfway through the first half. And sending it out of bounds is number 12 for the Lady Cardinals. That is Sydney Stokes. Or check that as Brown sends it in to number 15, Olivia Thompson. And now making a beeline for the goal, only to be taken away and knocked out of bounds by one of those Landrum defenders. The Cardinals not quite back to square one, but all but there. Starting on their end of the field, and try and grab a number there. I believe that is Tiffany Elder, number 8. I am not quite sure. I tell you, over the course of the football season, especially, that arena game in Tampa on Saturday night, I think I really took for granted just how largely the numbers are printed onto football jerseys. The soccer jerseys, they don't have any pads to stretch out over or anything. Oh, and we might have an opportunity now for Landrum, just making a beeline for the ball, and we got a stoppage. Didn't quite see what happened, but that one really could have gone either way. I think that was number 14 for the Lady Cardinals. Brooke Sherman was going to have a chance there and just could not quite get the Jets turned on in time. And now Landrum going to try and notch a takeaway, really hugging that sideline for the time being, and they kick it out of harm's way, and now into a herd of players, kind of bouncing it back and forth. Going to skip out of bounds around midfield. It'll be Woodruff ball. And headed, nope, still in play. Oh, and this one's loose. And headed right for the corner. Oh, would have been a great save there by, is that 11? No, there's no 11 on the Woodruff roster. Yeah, I need to bring binoculars or something to a next game. Maybe a telescope.
I think it's 11.
And sending it in from the line. Kind of up for grabs now. Heading toward midfield. Woodruff kicks it back. And now across midfield just a little bit. Landrum might have an opportunity here. Ball's loose. And Stokes going to try to send this one in. Oh, nice save there by Davis. And then, no. Oh, no. Ashley Ariza just hooked it off to the right. And Woodruff dodges a major bullet there. Oh, What did the... I don't know when Landrum's scoreboard got updated to 2. I don't know when that happened. No, it's only 1. Landrum's only got 1 point right now. Would have been 2, but just could not connect on that one. It was really, really close. And now Landrum, nope, not quite going to have another shot just yet. Sent out of bounds by Elizabeth Kolesnik. And checked right back in by Woodruff. Sent over to Kate Stokes. And now a lot of green grass over there for the Wolverines. And I think we got another whistle right before that shot. Davis is going to block it anyway. And Perez puts this one into play. Landrum closing in on it, sending it right for the goal and out of bounds. Too far to the right on that one, and it'll go right back to Woodruff. Just over 10 minutes until halftime in this one. Again, both teams trying to really establish some kind of offensive rhythm. For the most part, it's just been back and forth, up and down the field. Landrum has played better defensively, I'd say, to this point. They've done a lot better job of keeping the ball on their end of the field. Woodruff really has not had a ton of scoring opportunities, and when they have gotten across midfield, Landrum's done a good job of getting the ball back in really short amounts of time. Woodruff does have it across midfield now, and still loose, headed out of bounds, yes. And it'll be Landrum ball. Sydney Stokes checks this one in, really sends it, tried to thread the needle and could not get it done. Ball goes back to Woodruff, and now with a clear opportunity, Woodruff set, oh, and they've got it! Let me try to grab a number. That is, man, I really wish I could see these things. They are really tough to make out from up here in the booth. But Woodruff gets it knotted up on their first clean scoring opportunity of the game, and they waste no time in putting it in. And that was number 11. I believe that is June Welch for the Wolverines. There is no 11 on the roster, but Welch is listed with no number, so I'm assuming that's her. And Landrum set to put this one in from midfield. Looks like... and a little miscommunication there. But Ada Martin back on the field for the Lady Cardinals. For the time being, Katie Stokes now sends it over to Martin. And Martin makes a nice move. And Martin may have a scoring opportunity of her own, just one player to beat, and still loose, but brought back in by Davis after a moment. Woodruff dodging another bullet there, and there's the kick. Inside the circle, and then taken back away by the Lady Cardinals, still kind of up for grabs. And now Woodruff might have an open lane. Landrum gets it back, and now can they stop it from going out of bounds? Going to be close. Yes, they've got it. Still in play, sending it over to Martin, and then taken away. Woodruff trying to get Their players downfield set something up, and they send it right to the Cardinal defense, taken away, and now setting up is number 7, Shelby Bishop. Sending it over to Katie Stokes, who has it taken away, only for Woodruff to send it out of bounds once more. Sydney Stokes will check this one in, trying to thread the needle once more. Works out this time. Martin right on the sideline and runs into Perez, has it taken away. And then a shot attempt by number 14. Nope, that was 19. Stokes again. Couldn't quite connect on that one. Another save there by Davis. And right back to square one with just under 7 minutes to go in the first half. Woodruff trying to make something happen. Instead, it is kicked away by number 12. Or is that 12? Yes, that is Sydney Stokes with a nice defensive play there. Leah Brown sends it in right over to Stokes. Bounces off her chest and now kind of up for grabs. Woodruff trying to get some bodies downfield. And looks like this one might be headed out of bounds. Oh no, nice save there by number 15. That's Kate Murray keeping that one inbounds for the Lady Cardinals and then heads out. Going to be Woodruff ball, and they waste no time getting this one in. Trying to go for that head pass, couldn't quite connect, and now Stokes able to get it back in. And now sending it over. Woodruff's got the best shot at this one. And that kick really had some distance on it. And then is knocked out of bounds. Nope, still in play, it looks like. And now Landrum maybe with a scoring opportunity. Martin has it knocked away, headed for the sideline. And Leah Brown keeps it in for a moment. Then it hops out. 5.5 minutes to go in the first half. Landrum making a few more substitutions. Shelby Bishop exiting the field. She's replaced by Alexa Shaw. And Stokes looking to send this one in. Kind of a risky pass over to Martin, but it does land in Landrum hands. Martin trying to send this over to Stokes, and she just couldn't connect. Might have had a really nice shot there. Instead, Landrum going to have to go back to the drawing board. Leah Brown has the ball for the Wolverines now. Alexa Shaw sends it out of bounds. Looks like it might stay in for a moment. Really kind of straddled that line and then hops out. Nelly Perez going to put this one in for the Wolverines. Sends it, or tried to get it over to Leah Brown. Instead, Katie Stokes gets a hold of it, and now sending it out of bounds is the other Perez on the roster, Jocelyn Perez. Not sure if there's any relation there. Clock continues to roll. Sydney Stokes puts this one in and kind of loose for a moment there. And then sent out of bounds. Looked like Katie Stokes had it under control for a bit and then tried to send it a bit further infield, knocked it off of one of those Woodruff defenders. But it looks like it's going to stay with the Lady Cardinals here. Stokes going to try again, and they are really setting something up inside the box over there. Here we go. Stokes sends it in and caught by Davis. And now Woodruff going to have a chance to gather their thoughts a little bit, maybe get the ball on Landrum's end of the field for a brief moment at least to try and catch their breath. Again, Landrum has been in really good scoring position for most of this game. We have not spent a lot of time on the left side of the field so far, and it's looking like that streak may continue here. Got a little tussling for it now. Landrum sends it across midfield into an open area, and now looks like the best shot at it. Nope, heading out of bounds. Looked like for a moment that Crystal Chavez was going to be able to put that one in. I believe that's number 3. Couldn't quite get it in, and now headed right back out of bounds. Under 3 minutes to go now. Stokes sends it over to Martin. Ball is loose, brought in by Perez for a moment, and now up for grabs, headed out of bounds. And now Woodruff might have a chance here. Leah Brown going to try to split some defenders. Got the ball into open space, and Landrum able to stop the opportunity for the time being. Now Woodruff gets it back to Brown. Brown with 2 defenders to beat here and tries to send it right in and has that shot blocked by, I can't quite get a number there. A good play by the Landrum defense once again. And now it's looking like Woodruff might have a couple of lanes here. They've got some players downfield. They're outnumbered for sure, and I think Leah Brown was kind of feeling the heat there. Sends it out of bounds. Would have been quite a shot if she'd made it. But I think she kind of heard the footsteps closing in, might have gotten a little flustered, and Landrum's going to get the ball back. The in-stadium clock is actually stopped at 2 minutes. Let me get mine reset. And the clock is still not rolling. Leah Brown going to send this one in, taken away by Stokes, and now loose, brought in by the Lady Cardinals. They get it across midfield, trying to find Martin, and now there's a sprint for it, and it heads out of bounds. It's going to be Woodruff ball. Yeah, the clock has still not begun rolling. I did read something about referees allotting for time spent out of bounds or with substitutions or something like that. This could be it. Until then, and Martin kind of caught the ball at an odd angle there, sent it off the top of her foot, and it hops out of bounds. And is that the end of the half? It could be. Both teams headed back toward the bench. Yeah, and they've got the clock set at 10 minutes for halftime, so I'm not totally sure what happened with the timer there, but neither team really able to capitalize on the opportunities presented to them in the closing minutes. 1-1 headed into the break. Been a pretty tightly contested game so far. Neither team has really established too much of an offensive rhythm. Still anyone's contest at this point. Back in 10 minutes for the start of the second half. All right, and we're back, ready for the start of the second half of action. We'll see if both sides can get into a little bit more of a rhythm here. It was tough sledding for the most part. There were a couple of scoring opportunities for either side, but other than that, it was almost all just back and forth. It was really and truly a tug of war in a lot of respects. Should be a fun game, and 30 minutes on the clock. I think we ran 20 minutes the first time around. Never mind, I'm not sure. I got mixed up. So 30 minutes on the clock to decide the victor in this one. Woodruff may be able to get an opening here early. Landrum had a lot of players on that side of the field, and now bringing it back in. Sydney Stokes going to look to get this back into Wolverine territory, and now firmly in the hands, or I guess I should say the feet of the Cardinals, though perhaps not for long. And then looks like number 11 for Landrum, that's going to be Perla Alviar, bringing it back in for the Cardinals. And now still loose. Woodruff trying to keep Landrum out of scoring distance. There's definitely a wall of players there, and would have been quite a shot there. Not sure who took it. It was either Stokes or Alviar. They were both in the area. Just tried to pop that one up, put too much on it, send it off to the right, and it'll be Woodruff ball. My clock is actually about 45 seconds off. I'll switch that up when I get a chance here. Speaking of clocks, hope everybody remembered to move theirs forward an hour for daylight savings time. No, it's not the most fun thing to do a lot of times, but certainly a necessary evil in a lot of respects. And I think because of the time change, this might actually be the first time we will get home from a District 1 event before dark. I think with every game we've streamed, it has been nighttime by the time we got home. So it'll be interesting to see just how much longer the sun stays out. Until then, Katie Stokes going to put this one back into play for the Lady Cardinals. And they're going to try and set something up here. Stokes, oh, too far to the right. There is a little bit of a breeze. I don't know if it's enough to affect the trajectory of any shots, but that one just a little off course. Brought back in by the Wolverines, getting dangerously close to the sideline here, and now hopping out of bounds. It'll be Landrum ball. Or check that. It's going to stay with Woodruff. And now on the move out across midfield. And Woodruff trying to get it deep into Cardinal territory for the first time this half. Kind of contested right now, heading into a defensive stronghold. And Landrum maybe one kick away from getting it back. And now that is number 11. I believe that is Alviar again, going all the way down the sidelines. And yeah, just straddled the line there, hopped out. It'll be Woodruff ball. So the Wolverines catching a little bit of a break there. We'll see if Landrum can get the ball back. Oh, and a nice kick. And a lot of fun, but not a lot of progress there. Sydney Stokes couldn't quite keep it in play. And it'll be Woodruff ball. Leah Brown with possession now, trying to shake some Landrum defenders and hops out of bounds. Or check that. That is not Leah Brown. That is number 11. I believe that's June Welch, who had that goal for Woodruff earlier, about halfway through the first half. It's really interesting because Woodruff has not had a lot of really clean scoring opportunities at this point. Landrum hasn't either. I believe Landrum's had maybe 4 and Woodruff's had 2. And the one Woodruff scored on, I mean, was their first major scoring opportunity of the game. Looked a lot like this one. Alviar can't quite get it done. Ball is up for grabs and now heads out of bounds. Martin, the closest Cardinal to it. But yeah, I mean, it was on that end of the field too. That was Woodruff's goal looked a lot like that one. Players making a beeline for the net. Woodruff had Welch kind of behind the defense for the most part. She was able to put it in, but I mean, that was the first major scoring opportunity Woodruff had. Lasted all of maybe 30 seconds, and then they didn't get another one for about 7 minutes. Got one more, couldn't capitalize, and then haven't really had a good opportunity to score since. Oh, and that one, oh, that got dangerously close. Bailey Davis able to keep it from going in. And now Woodruff going to have a chance to regroup here, heading right in to the midfield territory. Woodruff's got it. Not for much longer, though. Landrum able to bring it back in. And now we are kind of in that tug-of-war phase, hanging out between the 30-yard lines. This one loose, and almost had a defensive play made there by number 14 for Landrum. That is Brooke Sherman back in the game. And now this one is headed for the corner. Going to take some really quick running to keep it in play, and just could not keep it in bounds. I believe that was Ada Martin again, doing what she could to make sure it stayed in play. Leah Brown going to check this one in, and looks like it is in Woodruff's grasp for the time being. Landrum may have an opening here. And now the Lady Cardinals, maybe with a little bit of room to work. Definitely time to catch their breath at least. And now that window kind of closing up. Alvear doing what you can to keep it in, and it's taken away by the Wolverines. Sydney Stokes has it now, though, for the Cardinals, making her way across midfield, and now maybe with some players in front of her, sends it down. Might have a scoring opportunity here. Katie Stokes, oh, just missed. Oh, you can't get much closer than that. Just a little too far to the left. And the game will stay tied at 1 apiece. Woodruff really dodging another bullet there. There have been a couple of shots. I believe Ashley Ariza had one early on in the first that would have put Landrum up 2-0. Could not quite capitalize there. Woodruff defense has been sound for the most part, but there have been a couple opportunities where they've let it slip, though so far it hasn't bitten them too badly. Landrum, though, may have another chance here. Not for much longer, though. Or Stokes, nope, sends it out of bounds. Would have been a lengthy shot. Couldn't quite get enough hang time on it, and it hops out of bounds to the left of the goal. And up at the very top of the frame, I believe those are the Varsity girls warming up. They'll have their game coming up at 7 p.m. And now Katie Stokes maybe with another chance here. Instead, it bounces off of the shin of Jocelyn Perez and heads out of bounds. Looks like it will be Landrum ball, though. Ada Martin, who scored the first goal for the Lady Cardinals, gets it over to Stokes. And now Stokes heading over to the corner to set up for another lengthy shot. Everybody bunched in close. We'll see what approach Stokes takes here, because she almost made one of these just a few moments ago. And just I think she tried to curve that one in, and it bounces off the pole. Still live, though, and almost goes in. But instead, Bailey Davis able to reel it in. And now Woodruff going to look to establish possession here, but not before Alexa Shaw puts it into the I almost said the arms of Alvear, but the arms would not be an accurate term for soccer. But Landrum does have possession now, and I think they've sent it out of bounds again. Again, caught that foot at a weird angle, I believe, and just kind of skidded off the top. It'll be a Woodruff ball. Jocelyn Perez ready to send this in. Landrum making some substitutions. Can't quite get any numbers there, though. And now Woodruff's got this one in play, and with some room to work. Could be a good opportunity here. Sydney Stokes doing what she can to at least let some defenders make their way downfield, and it looks like it paid off. Landrum going to have a chance to reestablish possession here, and now it looks like they may have an opening. Sydney Stokes with room to work. This is looking to be a promising possession so far. And nice lead down the field, and we got it. Whistles before that shot, though. And I don't think it's going to count. Woodruff catches another major break there. The goal is no good. Landrum did a really good job of... I liked what they did. It's the same thing in football. You know, you'll hear them talking about when you've got guys running way down the field. They say just, you know, throw it as far as you can and let the receiver catch up to it. Give them a chance to go down there and make a play. And that's exactly what Landrum did. They kicked it downfield, let their guys try and run up to it. And then, you know, if they can't catch up to it, hops out of bounds, no problem, you know. And that was... really, that leading of the ball downfield was what got that shot set up for the Lady Cardinals, and I think Alexis Shaw might have been trying to do it there again. Looking to get it over to Stokes, instead sends it out of bounds. And Woodruff, oh, nice kick up there by Stokes, and now trying to get it across midfield and into the hands of the Wolverines. Both teams grappling for control right now. Nice reversal there by, I believe that is Ashley Ariza. And, oh, we might have an opening here. Katie Stokes, oh, and we've got a whistle. Katie Stokes was one-on-one with Davis there. But again, Woodruff able to find a way to get out of some trouble. Under 19 minutes to play in the second half now. Still all knotted up at 1. And now, looked like Woodruff might have had an opening there for a second, but Landrum defense holds strong. Players, they've done a really good job of not getting out of position so far. You'll see that a lot, especially, I know, when we were down in Tampa, both teams got out of position a lot. Again, you know, that's arena football, totally different sport. But Landrum been very disciplined so far. They have not freaked out when things have gotten out of control. They've, you know, stayed calm, stayed in position, had faith in the system, and so far it has really paid off. And now this one going to scoot out of bounds. Ariza just unable to bring it back in. And now Woodruff wasting no time. Got 3 players within close proximity. Shaw splits all of them, trying to get it back into the hands of the Lady Cardinals. And now kind of a contested possession, but Landrum does have it. This is Katie Stokes looking to make something happen. Out to around the 20 and sends it in, or sends it toward the goal and angles it a little too far to the left. Just unable to put that one in. And this one getting very close to that sideline. Woodruff doing a good job of keeping it in play. And now number 2 for the Wolverines. That's Chapman Newsome. Got it into position for Stokes. Oh! And Landrum puts it in! Ada Martin with her second goal of the game. I looked away for a moment. I thought as soon as that thing hit the pole, it was done, headed out of bounds. But great job by Martin keeping her head up. Able to bank it in on the corner shot. Bailey Davis dove a little bit too early, was out of position to defend that second shot from Martin. And Landrum finally able to capitalize on one of those scoring opportunities. Woodruff's going to start back out from square one at midfield. Leah Brown trying to make something happen. And now Woodruff, oh, Alexis Shaw with a great defensive play there. Almost had an opening, but instead Woodruff, oh, and now a nice move from Chapman Newsome. Some fancy footwork, but kind of trailing backwards. And up for grabs. Looks like Katie Stokes is going to be able to bring this one in. And Landrum has it for the time being. Ball is loose. And we may have an opportunity here. I believe that's Ada Martin. Can she sink a third one? No. Blocked by Bailey Davis. She was in position this time. And a pretty impromptu scoring opportunity there. Just kind of a spur-of-the-moment thing compared to what have really been almost sustained drives in a sense from Landrum. They've taken a lot more time to kind of find an opening and get set up. And now another opening presents itself. Ariza might be able to put this one in. Oh, and just could not get her feet set. Ball kind of just rolled around. Did not have enough heat on it. Davis able to recover from blocking that first shot. Blocks the second one. And the Woodruff defense holds strong for the time being. Landrum up 2-1 over the Wolverines. Working their way down the field are the Wolverines, trying to get into scoring position, though they'll have to wait for at least a moment. Ball heads out of bounds. And I believe they're signaling for Woodruff. Oh, yep, we've got a kick coming up for the Lady Wolverines, their first of the game. And Leah Brown sends us an in. I think they were trying to set something up in the middle of that cornucopia of players. Does not quite pay off, and now into the open field. Landrum trying to set something up, and now Martin behind the defense. We'll see how much gas she's got in the tank. An open opportunity if she can outrun her defender. Sends it in, and no. Man, that was about a 70-yard sprint for Ada Martin. I can't blame her for running out of gas at the end of that one. Just could not put it in, but hey, I tell you what, she ran a lot further than I could have on that one. Nice setup there by the Lady Cardinals. And still on their end of the field, though, not for much longer. Looks like Landrum might be able to reel this one back in. Kind of in no man's land right now. And just trying to work something out. Both teams still kind of going back and forth. Ball is kind of gradually moving over toward Woodruff's end. Though not a ton of progress being made, though. Now Woodruff maybe with a chance to solidify it. Nope. And Ashley Ariza gonna get this one out across midfield. Kind of taking her time, waiting for everyone to get in position. Sydney Stokes has it now. And with just the slightest of opening, Stokes had to send that one a little early. Saved by Davis, and Woodruff will send it back toward the middle of the field. I tell you, this is a tricky sport to call. And I didn't expect it to be a cakewalk going in, but it's really easy to see when these opportunities pop up. Like when when you're channel surfing and you see soccer turn on, you may not pay that much attention to it. This is my first time really sitting down and watching a soccer game through and through, but you can really see those opportunities unfolding when players get behind the defense like that, and everybody's just kind of making a mad scramble for the goal, trying to stop the guy beside them. It's a lot of fun to watch, a lot of kind of tricky to call, kind of tricky to get the words out in the right way, but when you see something unfolding, you kind of know. You kind of know what's happening. It's interesting to see. Landrum going to look to get this one as far away from their goal as possible, I imagine, here. And that kick kind of had a weird spin on it, setting it up for Alexa Shaw, who's got some grass in front of her. Wanted to get it over to one of her teammates. Instead, it's taken away by Chapman Newsom, and now Newsom trying to work inside. Can't quite get it. Still loose, and Leah Brown has a shot at it, though several Landrum defenders closing in on it. And yeah, I think Brown heard the footsteps. Sent it out of bounds. And waiting on the signal from the official, I believe it's going to be Landrum ball. And Sydney Stokes going to have a chance to send it away now. Closing in on the 10-minute mark of the final half. Landrum with some promising navigation so far, and then taken away by the Lady Wolverines, who have some grass in front of them. Those Landrum players kind of bunched up, and Sydney Stokes bats it away for a moment. Is it enough for Shaw to get it? Yes. And now Landrum with some open space, closing in on midfield. Ashley Ariza going to try to get it over to number 4. That is Caroline Johnson. And then Woodruff able to take it away for the time being. Stokes trying to make a play, has it. Out across midfield again. And now Landrum with a good opportunity here. Stokes really covering some ground. Gets it over to, I believe that's Ariza again. Nope, Ariza is closest to the goal right now. And driving inside. I think they were trying to set it up to Ariza. Still loose, and Landrum's got it! There were 4 players all bunched up together. I couldn't quite see who got the goal there, but Landrum pouring it on in the second half. 2 unanswered goals for the Lady Cardinals here in the second. June Welch going to put this one into play. Looks like she's going to send it over to Leah Brown. And now Brown has it. Looking to get by Katie Stokes. They do. Brown going to have to split some defenders, though. And she does split the defenders, but there was no one to send it to. So Landrum's going to get it back for a moment at least. And then sending it out of bounds is number, I believe that's number 6, Elizabeth Kolesnik. Not 100% sure on that. Pretty tough to make out the numbers on both sides of the ball. Should have brought binoculars and did not. Kind of underestimated just how small these players look on the soccer field. And now Landrum maybe with an opportunity here. Ariza, or intended for Ariza, now behind the defense for a moment at least. And Woodruff does a good job of catching up to that one, though. It is still in prime position for the Lady Cardinals. Ball's loose again, and Katie Stokes has it. Landrum on a roll, make it 4-1. Great setup there by Stokes. And a really nice move on the ball, putting it right into the left corner of the net. Bailey Davis has had a tough go of it over the past 5 minutes or so. And I believe all of Landrum's goals in this half have come on the left side of that net, or I guess it'd be Davis's right. But they've been in the same position. Could be something to keep an eye on in the final 8 minutes of this one. Woodruff with some work to do. Got a whistle. Leah Brown fell over. And not quite sure what happened. Though it doesn't look like anybody's holding up any cards. And it looks like it'll be Woodruff ball. Clock continues to roll. Neither side really sure of who has it. And now Woodruff setting up for something it looks like. And they're going to kick this off from about the 30-yard line. And sending it right into the core of that defensive front from Landrum. Maybe hoping for it to bounce around, and nothing quite set up yet. Woodruff with a good opportunity if they can hang on to the ball, and it rolls in! Oh, I think there was a miscommunication there on the defense. Couldn't quite catch any numbers, but I think Landrum's goalie thought it was patched up, that the Cardinals were going to be able to kick it away, and wasn't quite ready. Got caught flat-footed almost. Could not bring it in. We are seeing some points in the final minutes of this one. Can Woodruff stage a comeback here? Landrum scored 3 unanswered goals in the span of maybe 12 minutes. And now we've got a whistle here. Not entirely sure what the stoppage is for. But Johnson sends it over to Katie Stokes. And now Stokes looking for a way to get this across midfield. Sends it off the front of, I believe that's Jocelyn Perez. And now Landrum gradually working their way down. Woodruff takes it away for a moment and still up for grabs. Kind of in that tug-of-war phase right now. Both teams trying to establish a clean possession here. A lot of back and forth so far. Landrum maybe with an opportunity. They've got it to the outside, and looking to catch up to it is, I believe that is Johnson, and straddled the line for a moment and then heads out of bounds. Caroline Johnson looked like Landrum might have yet another really good scoring opportunity, but just could not capitalize. Again, 5 minutes left to go in the second half of an hour-long game. I imagine conditioning factoring into things a little bit. Both teams starting to get gassed. I know I would be if I'd been running around that much. Very impressed that these players are still running strong after nearly an hour of continuous play. Very impressive job by both Landrum and Woodruff strength and conditioning teams. And Sydney Stokes with an interesting kick toward the middle of the field. Ariza's got it now. And maybe Landrum with a chance trying to get this in behind the defense. Ball is loose. Katie Stokes sends it, and she gets it in! Davis blocked the first shot, couldn't get the second one though, and with 4.5 minutes to go in the game, Landrum up 5-2 over the Wolverines. And the clock is still rolling. Woodruff not entirely sure what they're waiting on. Referee's got his arm up, and now there's the whistle. So had a good bit of time roll off the clock there. Woodruff might need that moving forward. Until then, looks like Sydney Stokes trying to notch another takeaway. Can't quite get it away from the Wolverines, and now ball is loose. Looks like Landrum's going to be able to reel it back in, and now sends it out of bounds. I think they tried to kick it off of the leg of Leah Brown and keep possession with the Lady Cardinals. Does not work though, and Brown sends us in only for it to bounce back out. Going to be Woodruff ball yet again, I believe. Really taking their time here. Imagine milking that clock is their #1 priority, especially with 2.5 minutes to go. Landrum in good hands, closing in on the end of this game, though they cannot afford to get complacent at this point. They themselves have shown the capacity to score in a hurry. If Woodruff can find a way to replicate that, we could be on our way to an exciting finish, but until then, Landrum just needs to continue to execute the way they have been executing, and they should be good to go. Katie Stokes trying to get in behind the defense and may have a little bit of a window here. Turns on the Jets and still loose. Still going. Landrum at least going to have good field position. And then taken away by the Lady Wolverines. Brought back in by Sydney Stokes. Sends it to the middle of the field, and now a shot attempt just barely blocked by Davis, who was on the ground, and Ariza could not close the gap in time. Davis able to bring it back in, and that one definitely would have clinched it. And now the clock is stopped again. I think we're in that time makeup phase. I'll keep mine running just in case, though the in-stadium clock is stopped at 1:58. So I imagine the clock on the screen will kind of give us a general idea of how much time is left in the game, though that is not official anymore. Landrum trying to put this one on ice. Woodruff has it back for a moment. Now in the hands of, looks like Martin, or, yep, that was Martin. Could not hang on, though. Woodruff's got it back for a second. Sends it right off of Martin's chest, and then Martin sends it into the penalty box where some Wolverines were waiting. And we are getting very close, I imagine, to the end of this one. Been an exciting game with a great offensive output for Landrum. Again, the clock on the screen not official. The one on the scoreboard here in Cardinal Stadium is stopped at 1:58. And now Woodruff with a lot of open field, though it goes right into the hands of the Lady Cardinals. They had several players just waiting on that one. Katie Stokes now going to have a chance to set this one up. Looking to get it in behind the defense. No one really there for the Cardinals quite yet. And now Ada Martin trying to get something done. Woodruff sends it out of bounds. And my clock is about to run out. I'll leave it paused for now. Though I imagine we are just a few moments removed from this one. Woodruff going to need a perfect closing to this game to pull off a comeback. They might be able to notch one more goal in before time officially expires. And this kick goes right to Sydney Stokes, who's going to have maybe one last chance to get a shot in. Sends it. Oh, and Davis a little out of position, but would have had to really sneak that one in on the left-hand side, and Stokes just can't get it in. Woodruff ready to send this one away with Jocelyn Perez. And having some difficulty getting this back across midfield. Landrum has really been hanging out on this end of the stadium for the most part, and looks like that stay may continue going out of bounds here. And nope, that's going to do it. So Landrum opening up the evening with a convincing win over Woodruff. The final score 5-2 with 4 goals scored in the second half for Landrum. Now, if you need some refreshments, now would be a great time to do so. I think the girls' game is going to kick off at 7 p.m. Could be a little later, depending on how long it takes both teams to get warmed up, though. I've seen them kicking the ball around on either end of the stadium a little bit, so we should be ready to start in just a few moments. Clock in the stadium is set for 15 minutes. We will see you then for game number 2 of the evening when the Varsity girls take the field against Woodruff.
started with tonight's team members. First off, from our visiting team, the Woodruff High School Wolverines. Lily Rhodes. Jasmine Panetta. Erin McCallion. Carmen Panetta. Emily Brown. Jenna Peace. Lily Zing. Layla Gray Bennett. Lauren Beeler. Coco Zing. Skylar Comparens. Sydney Arellano. Samantha Garrett. Jasmine Early. Haley West. Angel Garrett. Grace Wyman. And Tisha Fortin. Now for the starting lineup for our Landrum Cardinals. Player number 1, Kara Knight. Number 2, Taylor Kelly. Number 4, Peyton Hawkins. Number 5, Mulaney Hines. Number 7, Emily Otterino. Number 8, Sophia Ravan. Number 9, Chloe Dixon. Number 10, Molly Ellinger. Number 11, Beret Upton. Number 12, Anna Cooper. Number 13, Kenna Kabir. Allie Mae Martin. Sarah Campbell. Maggie Foster. Abby Hightower. Lily Chalkin. Haley Shulman. And Martha Page Green. That's our team lineups tonight. Let's play soccer. Go Cardinals!
Oh, look, I knew it. I always remember seeing her at the game when y'all used to play. I told you, I thought she always was. She's always with them. I ain't know.
All right, so team introductions just about wrapped up. 40 minutes on the clock here in Cardinal Stadium. Everyone just a few minutes removed from the start of game number 2 in our doubleheader tonight. The Varsity Lady Cardinals taking on the Varsity Wolverines of Woodruff High School here in just a few moments. Landrum won the first matchup in this series an hour or so ago by a 5-2 margin, scored 4 points in the last 30 minutes of the game, including 3 unanswered. En route to a big win over the Wolverines. And Landrum starting off with possession, only to have it taken away quite quickly by the Wolverines. Though nobody quite behind the defense yet, and that one skips out of bounds. Woodruff will hang on to the ball, and now sending it back out of bounds for the Wolverines. This one should be Cardinal ball. And nope, the Wolverines are going to have a third crack at it. And they are still trying to get an opening set up. They may have one here. Instead, Landrum takes it away. That is, can't quite make out any numbers from here. I really need to bring a pair of binoculars or something along those lines for the next game, because I did not properly appreciate just how largely the numbers are printed onto football jerseys, which I'm used to seeing on this field. You know, the numbers are printed bigger, the jerseys themselves are bigger because they're stretched out over the shoulder pads and all. Here it is just a little bit more difficult to make those numbers out. Woodruff getting ready to send this one in from the penalty box and really trying to thread the needle along a sideline and cannot pull it off. Hops out of bounds, and it will be fielded by, that looks like number 5, Mulaney Hines, the senior standout for the Lady Cardinals. We've seen her in just about every girls varsity game we've streamed this year. started on the volleyball, basketball, and now soccer teams for the Lady Cardinals. And now in the open field is number 1. That's going to be Kara Knight. And Landrum kind of backtracking here. Both teams really have yet to get behind the defense. Not a lot of openings. Although Woodruff may have one here. And sound defensive play there from the Lady Cardinals. They'll try and get a number on that one. I believe that is Kara Knight, but it could be someone else. No, that was Kara Knight just now. And fielding it for the Cardinals, again, is Mulaney Hines getting it over to Kenna Kabir. And hopping out of bounds, that kick intended for number 8, Sophia Ravon. And now really trying to straddle that sideline, and to no avail. Is that still live? Well, not for much longer. It does skip out of bounds. Intended for number 5 of the Wolverines. Instead, number 5 of the Cardinals. Mulaney Hines will check that one in. Gets it to Kabir. Back to Hines now. And Landrum trying to get some chunk yardage in a sense. Does not pay off, though. Really needed to thread the needle on that one, and it is taken away by Woodruff, though. Landrum gets it back for a moment. Both teams really kind of feeling each other out at this point, and I believe that was Kabir getting tripped by mistake. No whistles blown. And still going. I thought that was really close to hopping out of bounds, and I do think they call it. And Landrum sends that one in. Still trying to find an opening, and they may have one. Nope. Kind of that window closing quickly. Woodruff going to try to get this one in. It was close. Landrum almost kicked it in themselves. Still loose, and oh, just off to the left. Woodruff unable to connect there. And Landrum maybe gets away with one. Kind of slipped up just a little bit on that possession. So they are able to make it out unscathed. And now checking it in is going to be, I believe that is Kara Knight. And really getting some hang time on that ball. I think she was trying to get it over to Mulaney Hines. Instead, man, still going. What a kick. And now headed out of bounds. Can she save it? Oh, well, not for much longer. Chloe Dixon was trying to keep it in play. Had it saved for a moment, and then Woodruff sent it out. Going to give their players a chance to get set up. And now Kabir going to look to make something happen. Sends it way off into the corner, and that one maybe heading out. And it does. It's going to stay with Woodruff, I believe. Or stay with Landrum, excuse me. And now making quick work of getting that one checked in. Landrum kind of backtracking now. Wanting to go for an opening on the middle of the field. Could not quite get it. And Landrum kicks it out of bounds. Woodruff again very quick to the line. And out of bounds once more. Still going, and Landrum just kind of playing cat and mouse with them now, knocking it out of bounds whenever the opportunity presents itself. Though Woodruff is able to get it in this time, though. They lose possession rather quickly. Landrum doing a good job of setting up here. And now sending it to the middle of the field. Maybe got a little greedy there, but it hasn't bit them just yet. Ball is still loose. And now number 8, that is going to be Sophia Ravon, trying to get it in. Can't connect. And now loose on the sideline and unable to be brought in. And it will go back to Woodruff. We'll see what Landrum has drawn up here. And it's a long kick from Woodruff into Landrum territory for the most part. No, Woodruff sends it out of bounds once more. Doesn't appear the Wolverines are too keen on taking chances down the field. They've been fine with sending it out of bounds when the need arises, and out it goes again, this time by Landrum's hand. Again, much like in the JV game, save for that one scoring opportunity that Woodruff had earlier, Landrum has done a really good job of keeping the action on their side of the field. They've been really in Woodruff's face the whole time. They have not seen a lot of plays take place on the other side of the field. Again, save for that one major scoring opportunity by the Wolverines. And of all things, I forgot to start the clock. 32:25 to go in the first. And now this is Chloe Dixon, I believe, trying to make some progress. Can't quite get anything going. Ball is loose. They're outrunning the camera. Should catch up to him here in a second. There they are, and that one's going to hop out of bounds. Woodruff going to try and send this one in from the edge, maybe with a good opportunity here. Landrum holding defensively for the time being, and now making some progress all the way to the other side of the field, and then backtracking again. That was a long kick and hops out of bounds. Right back to square one. And a backwards kick. I don't think that was intentional. And now Landrum trying to reestablish possession here, and Mulaney Hines, the closest player to the ball, she should be able to reel it back in and just kicks it out of bounds. And out of bounds once more. Woodruff had it. It would have been a really, really tough shot, but Landrum able to block it nonetheless. About 10 minutes through the first period. Neither team giving an inch so far. Chloe Dixon ready to send this one in. And this one has a lot of hang time on it. Woodruff gets the first hand on it. And looked like it was headed out of bounds for a moment, and there it goes. Man, if I had $1 for every time I've said that in this game alone, I could pay off my student loans. Yeah, both teams, pretty conservative game plan so far. Oh, and now Landrum has a chance! Behind the defense, and a whistle sounds. Almost had it. Looked like Peyton Hawkins, maybe. Again, I'll try and get a number there. Landrum just unable to bring it in. And now Woodruff going to get it back across midfield, maybe with an opportunity of their own here. Window opens up for a moment and then closes. I think they were trying to get it back down the field there, and Landrum doing a good job of keeping everything in front of him. Sending it out of bounds once more. Going to be Cardinal ball. A lot of cat and mouse so far. This has been a chess match. Both teams struggling to make any consistent progress. Though it did take Landrum a good amount of time to get into the groove of the JV game earlier as well. And a long kick here from Woodruff, and Landrum should be able to reel it back in. And now heading up the sideline, then taken away by the Wolverines. Or at least sent away. Landrum has it now, and they send it out of bounds. Woodruff going to get it in prime territory. They'll need to find some kind of opening on offense, and that has been easier said than done so far. And now Landrum looked like they might have had a chance for a moment, but Woodruff, with ample defenders downfield, got a whistle here, and a player is down for the Lady Cardinals. Looks like two players collided there. And the clock is, I'm actually going to stop my clock because this will probably get added on to the allotted time at the end of the game. And it looks like that player is up. Good to see that she's okay. I believe that was Chloe Dixon, and walking off on her own power now. Hopefully she'll be back before long. Landrum using the opportunity to make a handful of substitutions. See number 19, Haley Schulman, coming in. And just missed the number on the other player. Ball is at midfield. The in-stadium clock is still running. It is at 26.5 minutes right now. Though, again, I imagine that minute we lost with the injury timeout is going to get added on to the allotted time at the end of this half. Guess only time will tell in that regard. Until then, both teams still sticking to the tried and true formula of kicking it out of bounds when things get a little risky. And now Landrum going to try and send this one away. And this one is picked up by the Lady Cardinals for a moment and then sent out of bounds by the Wolverines, though I don't think that one was intentional. I think they were trying to bring it back in and just couldn't quite get the angle they needed. Kenna Kabir going to put this one in for the Lady Cardinals. And Kabir airs it out, trying to get it over to Sophie Ravon. Instead, it's taken in by the Wolverines. And now up for grabs. Landrum making some progress and stopped for the time being by the Wolverines. Now the Lady Cardinals going to have to regroup. And straddling the sideline, couldn't keep it in play. Woodruff might have had a scoring opportunity if they'd kept that one in. Instead, it'll go back to the Lady Cardinals. Kara Knight going to check this one in. And Knight finds Varay Upton, who has it taken away by the Wolverines. And now getting it back, trying to send it down the field and just can't quite connect. Kabir has it now. Taken back in, or blocked by the Wolverines. Still going. And well into Woodruff territory for the most part. Not a ton of Cardinals on that side of the field quite yet. They haven't had a good opportunity to regroup. And yeah, I think Woodruff saw it too. Not a ton of Cardinals on that side of the field either. Could be a good opportunity for the Wolverines, and that shot is blocked. So we'll remain deadlocked at 0 for now. Woodruff just unable to put that one together. Though it does look like we'll have a kick coming up for the Wolverines. And here we go. Can they get it in? No. Out of bounds once more. Woodruff going to get his second chance at it, and that one too far to the right, bounces off the side of the net, and Landrum will get it back for sure. And now a long kick down the field, taken in by Woodruff for the time being, though not a lot of openings so far. They are making some progress down the field, though, headed out of bounds now, blocked, and just kind of throwing up a Hail Mary to get rid of it there, I think. Now Landrum going to try and send it downfield again. Woodruff, over the past 10 minutes or so, has done a really good job of keeping things on their side of the field. Saw the inverse of that earlier in this game to start things out. It was mostly on Landrum's end, though now Woodruff has been pretty firmly in control of possession for a good while now. Landrum may have an opening here. Though a bad pass forces the Cardinals to backtrack a little bit. Though they still have the ball, and now going to try to send it over to, I believe that is number, can't quite get a number there. And now headed out of bounds. Both teams saying it's theirs. It's going to go to Woodruff. And now trying to headbutt it, and it goes out of bounds once more. This one going to Landrum. And a lengthy pass there from Varsity Upton. I'll update the clock here in a second. I think they took 2 minutes off of it at some point when I wasn't looking. The stadium clock is at 20.5 minutes now, which is probably closer to being right than mine. So I'll get that updated here in a moment. Until then, this is Kara Knight. Landrum maybe with an opportunity here. Going to be an awkward shot and cannot quite connect. Again, the angle was going to be really tough to work with. And now Woodruff with some open grass in front of them, though that window looks like it's going to close here in a second. And brought in by the Lady Cardinals. Everybody kind of spaced out right now, so a good opportunity to at the very least get some miles in. This has been the most movement we've seen of the ball in quite a while. Again, mostly just been kind of a tug of war for the majority of this game. But now everybody kind of getting settled in around the center of the field. So we'll probably see a lot more clogged up passing lanes. Though Woodruff maybe with an opportunity here, and whistles sound. And that possession is going to grind to a halt. And there's a clock reset. Again, everybody really bunched in at the middle right now, trying to get something going. Landrum may having an opportunity here. I think they're trying to work Kara Knight down the sideline. Ball is loose, and it's going to skip out of bounds. And it's going to go to Woodruff. Both teams trying to get someone in behind the defense, and they'll have a chance to regroup here. Again, everybody that is just overall, like, there have been a really high number of players in the frame so far. And I know that's a weird stat to say, but I think it does a really good job of demonstrating just how tightly packed everyone is. There are, I mean, I can't count them right now. I'd say maybe 16, 15 players in the frame right now. And even now, as we're heading down the field, still a lot of players really tightly packed together. Everyone reasonably close to the ball, and that's the reason why passing has been so contested to this point, and why we've seen so many out-of-bounds shots like that. Just a lot of points where the team has just said, hey, it's a lost cause, we'll kick it out of bounds, try and regroup next time. But again, just everybody's packed so tightly together, it has been really, really tough for either side to get a good passing lane open. And Landrum just now getting to take their first real shot at the goal and can't quite connect. That ball hung in the air for a little too long. And I believe the stadium lights have come on. That's why the color of the picture's changing a little bit. I think the camera will adjust itself here in a moment. And Landrum going to have to turn on the Jets here, or maybe not. Just kind of hops out of bounds. It'll go right back to the Lady Cardinals. And headed right back out. That one is sent in by Anna Cooper and kind of backtracks a little bit. Cooper's got it again. And, I think she tried to send that one downfield and caught the top of her foot. It's going back to Woodruff now. They'll try and set something up. This could be a good opportunity for him. Again, everybody kind of packed in pretty tight. And this one is up in the air. Oh, looked like it was headed for the goal. I think that one actually went straight up. And now Woodruff trying to get something open again. This has been a pretty good opportunity for them so far. It looked like there were a few chances where they might have been able to get somebody in behind the defense and set up a one-on-one opportunity with the goalie, but just couldn't quite get it done. Still deadlocked at 0. And now this is Ray Upton. Going to send this one downfield. Get some nice hang time on it. And still kind of bouncing around. Oh, and just off the foot of Emily Ottorino. Couldn't quite keep it in play. And now Upton sends it down the field again. Still loose. And both teams trying to get clean possession of it. Opening's kind of tough to come by. This one on the way to going out of bounds. Instead, Landrum able to bring it back in. And now heads out of bounds. Still working from the sideline. Landrum maybe with a chance here. Got some players spaced out. Again, not a ton of players on this side of the frame. Could be something to keep an eye on. And then, maybe a little too much heat on that pass. Woodruff wisely kicks it out of bounds. And Landrum will get the ball back, but it'll give Woodruff an opportunity to get all their defenders downfield. Ottorino checks this one in. Woodruff gets it back, and now with some open field in front of him, a wave of Landrum defenders waiting on them at midfield, and Landrum is able to get it back. Passing it around, trying to find some kind of opening. Both defenses have held tight so far, and Woodruff sends it out of bounds there. And Kenna Kabir wastes no time in getting it back in. And now Landrum sending it right to the middle of the field. Can't quite get an opening yet. Oh, and a big kick here. And I guess that'll count as a shot on the goal, but it is pretty easily blocked by Woodruff. And now they'll send it away. Nice kick. Emily Ottorino trying to shake her defender, and now had to split two of them. Not in a good situation there, and Woodruff looked like they might have had some momentum for a moment. Instead, Landrum just going to kick this thing away. Had a few players out of position, and now going to try to regroup with just over 13 minutes to go in the first half. So here we go. Woodruff sending it down the middle of the field again. And a whistle sounds. Didn't see what it was for. And Woodruff going to have a chance to kick this one away again. Getting some hang time and almost split some defenders. Still kind of going Woodruff's way here. Landrum doing what they can to get it back across midfield. And they send it out of bounds. That one might have been intended for Ottorino, but a little too far to the left. Looks like Woodruff might have had an opportunity there for a second. Maybe with a half step on some of those Landrum defenders, but Landrum able to get a foot on it and send it out of bounds. Woodruff forced to regroup. And this one got to hop out. And Landrum will have a chance to kick it away. And Woodruff, oh, there was only one man to beat down there, and Landrum able to avoid a potential disaster there. Woodruff, again, wasting no time getting it in. They like what they're seeing defensively so far. Landrum having to backtrack a little bit. Now Woodruff maybe with an opportunity. Nope, Landrum gets it back. And Woodruff's trying to send it down the field again, but it's not quite the same. Landrum had a chance to get their defenders in position, and with less than 10 minutes to go in the first half, both teams still looking for their first points. Been a defensive showdown so far. And Landrum going to have a chance to get rid of this one. Another good kick here. Nice bounce for Landrum too. Headed all the way down the field. Woodruff brings it back in and sends it out of bounds. And now Landrum making a substitution. That looks to be... That is number 20. That's Martha Page Green, who has subbed in and out of the game a couple of times so far. Landrum backtracking a little bit, trying to maybe catch Woodruff out of shape. And now sending it to the middle of the field. Kabir sends it a bit further down, where it is taken back in by the Wolverines. Sent all the way back to midfield. And now the ball is behind the defense, but nobody's there to pick it up for the Wolverines. And Landrum passes it down the sideline. Woodruff has it back now. And splitting some defenders, getting it out to around the 35, and then sending it back across midfield. Landrum going to let their players kind of make their way down the grass, and that'll give them another chance to do so. Ball is kicked out of bounds once more. And Green falls over there. Again, no card shown by the officials. Looked like incidental contact, but it will be enough to stop the game for the time being. Ray Upton going to get a chance to kick this one from around the 40. And it has some nice hang time. Can't quite make it to the goal, but Landrum maybe with a chance here. And nice defense there by Woodruff. Landrum sends it into the arms of the goalie. And a very short-lived but very promising scoring opportunity for the Lady Cardinals comes to an end just as quickly as it began. Ball's right back to midfield. Oh, and now Woodruff maybe with an opening here, kind of backtracking a little bit. And that's going to give Landrum time to get some defenders down the field. And that might have cost them a goal right there. There was maybe a split second where they could have gotten in a shot, but just not enough to capitalize. 6 minutes to go in the first half. Landrum going to check this one in from out of frame. Should see the ball coming in. There it is. And Woodruff heads it. And now Landrum doing a good job of keeping this one in play. And then Woodruff inevitably perhaps sends it out of bounds. Good defensive play on their part, though. They did not have the necessary bodies downfield. They've got him now, though. Green going to send this one in. I think she was trying to get it over to, can't get a number there. So just like that, ball's going to go back to Woodruff and heads out of bounds once again. Right back to Landrum. Anna Cooper now. And this ball is loose, picked up by the goalie. And headed right back to square one. Man, what a kick there. Oh, and now Woodruff maybe with a chance. They've got one man to beat and still loose. Making a beeline for it, and that one is saved by the Lady Cardinals. Landrum can't quite get as much hang time on that kick as Woodruff did, though it does take a nice bounce. And Kara Knight finds one of her teammates. Green not quite ready for it. And looks like Landrum will hang on to it for the time being. Green trying to regain possession. Ball's loose. And now Woodruff maybe with another chance here if they can get a good angle. And yep, Landrum kicks that one, or tried to kick it out of bounds. Couldn't quite get enough distance, and now still in play. Landrum just trying to get it away from the goal now. And Woodruff kicks it out of bounds all the way back at midfield. The Wolverines really moving backwards on that possession. Looks like they might have had a nice opportunity set up from around the 5-yard line. Instead, they kick it all the way back to the 50. And sent out of bounds again. This one's still up for grabs at this point. About an equal number of red and white jerseys in frame right now. Woodruff trying to work that left side and cannot get a player over there fast enough. They send it out of bounds, and Woodruff is going to get it back. Out of bounds again. It'll still be Woodruff ball. About 3 minutes to go in the half. We'll stop the clock at 2. Again, I believe the unofficial count right now of around 250 is pretty accurate. There have not been a lot of stoppages in this game, so I don't think the refs are going to go too crazy with the allotted time portion at the end. Both teams, I imagine, are really going to benefit a lot just from getting a break at halftime, really being able to kind of sit back, reflect on everything, and regroup. And at least for football, or American football, I should say, with games that end up as defensive showdowns in the first half like this, as soon as the players, get into the locker room, get a chance to breathe, get a chance to examine everything as a whole instead of just being able to focus on the last play or what they've got to do on the given play they're on, it just helps to be able to clear your mind, get everything out of your system, and go out there and execute a little better next time around, just because you've got a clear head to work with. There's not as much stress. You're not in the moment. You can afford to take a moment to plan things out a little bit. So I would not be surprised if there isn't another score before the whistle here, but at the same time, I wouldn't be too surprised if this score does not hold. I would imagine we're going to see at least a couple of goals in the second half. I would be very surprised if this ends up as a shutout for either side. Again, just in defensively minded games like this, in my experience, the double shutout scores at halftime just don't tend to hold up. The teams usually get it figured out during halftime. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Until then, Woodruff sends it out of bounds. It'll be Landrum ball. And now really sending this thing down the field. Looks like it might have been a good opportunity for Landrum, and that one is kind of batted up by Kara Knight, who is grappling for position now. And you can hear that crowd getting loud. Knight with an opportunity, and maybe got a little too cute with it. Tried to send it over to one of her teammates, but that window was not open. Woodruff sends it out of bounds, and Kara Knight can have another chance to check it in. Woodruff sends it out of bounds once more. I think that one was unintentional, though. Anna Cooper trying to find a teammate. Can't get that connection going. And Woodruff kicks it away. Landrum is able to hang on to the ball. And now, it looked like Kabir was winding up for a big kick. Instead, she just gets it back to Cooper. And now headed right back the other way. Nobody really there for Woodruff, though. And, we might have something brewing here. Ball is loose. And now only one man to beat. Oh, and what a move there by Landrum to get it back. Some fancy footwork. And just like that, we're all the way back on Woodruff's end of the field. Ball stolen away with really, really solid precision there. Still going back and forth here. And yeah, both teams kind of, looks like they're winding down a little bit. I think they can tell they're about out of time. And got an unintentional trip there and then a push. And Landrum going to catch this one. Things getting a little chippy here at the end. Both offenses at least getting some openings. Again, just not able to capitalize, though. Defense holding for both sides. And we've got a Cardinal down at midfield. And yeah, there's the whistle. Can't tell who that is for Landrum, but it looks like she's going to be all right. Just a little shaken up. Maybe got the wind knocked out of her. And I think that is number 18, Lily Chacon. And yeah, I figured that's what they do. They're just going to call that the end of the half. So we will be back in 15 minutes for the start of the second half. Hopefully Lily will be okay, and maybe these offenses can find a way to shake off the rust a little bit here during the break. We'll be back in a few minutes for the start of the second half. And Lily's up. Good to see that she's all right. All right, and we're back. Ready for the second half of action between Landrum and Woodruff. We'll see if either one of these offenses can get anything going. It was tough sledding for them, to say the least, in that first half. And that side could really get much of anything done. Had a lot of trouble getting separation from the defense as well. I mentioned it earlier, but again, there were just a lot of players in frame. A lot of players really close to the ball, clogging up those passing windows and just making it hard for either side to get enough distance from their opponent to actually get something done. There were a couple of scoring opportunities to be had by either side, but just unable to capitalize. Both defenses playing very well so far. And Woodruff starting out by moving backwards a little bit and then starting up the trend from the last half of sending it out of bounds when in doubt. And kind of caught an odd angle on that kick. Taylor Kelly accidentally sent it back to Woodruff and tried to block that pass. Instead, Woodruff's got it again and then is kicked all the way back to the other side of the field by Ray Upton. And now, I believe that is Chloe Dixon looking to get rid of it as well. And Landrum slowly but surely making their way down the field, maybe with an opportunity here. And they are absolutely surrounded by white jerseys over there. And yeah, that one did not have much of a chance. Sent it into a sea of Wolverines there. And Woodruff is going to have a chance to boot this one away. And I couldn't see who was kicking that, but they really wound up for it. Oh, and Landrum almost able to put that one in. Had a really nice setup, but just couldn't get the right angle of attack off of that headbutt. Kind of scoots off to the left instead of going forward. And that'll bring an end to that promising possession for the Lady Cardinals. We're just going to look to get this back across midfield. And Landrum, I think they were wanting to send it out of bounds. Instead, now backtracking. Oh, and that one almost taken away by the Lady Cardinals, and now still in possession. That's for Ray Upton, and kind of losing some steam now. Woodruff getting back downfield, and I think Landrum's kind of feeling the heat there. Tried to just go for a quick shot, send it out of bounds. No harm, no foul, but Woodruff is going to get the ball back. And they are ready to send this one out of bounds. That could not have been intentional. Again, there was a... I don't think the wind caught that one either, though. There was the slightest of breezes earlier. It's gone now, so I'm not really sure why that one went out of bounds. But Landrum able to get the ball back and now headed out of frame. There's no one really there. Lainey Hines chasing it down, or Ray Upton, excuse me, chasing that one down for Landrum. And now the Lady Cardinals are going to have to move all the way down the field in order to get in scoring position again. A quick takeaway there will help, but we'll just be able to get back on top of it before long. And then a nice block by, that is number 10, Molly Ellinger, who we have not seen so far, the reigning Cardinal Athlete of the Week. Woodruff trying to get in position here. And now Landrum with a little bit of an opening. That window closes quickly. Taylor Kelly had it for a moment and could not bring it back in. Oh, and now a really nice kick all the way out to midfield and still up for grabs. This is anyone's ball right now. Both teams grappling for possession. Landrum sends it away. And Kara Knight sends it across midfield back to Woodruff. And again, Landrum very slowly but surely making their way down the field. And now Knight with something of an opportunity, but ran into a wall of defenders. And Woodruff looking to just get rid of this thing. And they've got it out to midfield. And then Landrum reels it back in. And now... oh, Taylor Kelly with an opportunity here and kind of runs out of space. It's going to be an awkward angled shot now. And I think Woodruff booted that one out of bounds of their own free will. Landrum going to get it back. Taylor Kelly will check this one in. And now headed out once more. And not really sure who that kick was headed for, though it does end up in the lap of one of those Lady Cardinal attackers, I suppose. And now Landrum backtracking a little bit again, maybe wanting to let some of their defenders get back downfield. There are a ton of white jerseys in frame. Now Woodruff making their way back into Cardinal territory and then taken away by Landrum. And now a long shot, this one off to the side, and no good. And now hit out of bounds all the way on the other side of the field. Both defenses still holding strong. This is about what the first half looked like. Haven't seen as many tussles around midfield. The possessions have been more or less evenly split on, for lack of a better term, the red zones inside either team's 20-yard line. Whereas in the first half, a lot of it was around midfield. Now Landrum maybe with an opportunity, and that one goes away rather quickly. Nice defensive play there by the Wolverines. Keep that one out of harm's way. Landrum doing what they can to get it back, and now maybe with another shot here. Oh man, and that is going to be a stoppage. Sophia Ravon doing what she could to try and get that one away, and one of those Wolverines just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Hopefully she'll be okay. And yeah, it looks like she's all right. Going to stay out on the field. Got hit, looked like right between the eyes. Good to see she's all right. And it will remain Landrum ball. Ravon now gets to kick it downfield. And Landrum's able to pick it up for the time being. And not a lot of players on that side of the field, but Woodruff able to save it. And still kind of up for grabs now. Kara Knight trying to put some moves on those defenders and loses her balance. Landrum still has the ball, though. Going to have a chance to regroup here, or maybe not. Woodruff gets it back in, and now there's a scramble for it. This could be a good opportunity for Woodruff, but they break it to the outside, and now both teams are going to have an opportunity for their players to get downfield, especially after Landrum boots it out of bounds. And now we've got a kick from Woodruff. We'll see what they can get done here. Everybody closing in on that goal rather quickly, and Landrum almost booted it in themselves. Saw that earlier in the first half as well. Landrum dodging 2 bullets in that regard. Woodruff going to get a second chance at it. And this one airborne and in for the Woodruff. Right in the corner of the net, and the Wolverines able to score the first points of the game. Woodruff on top, 1-0. Or wait, hang on, I think, did they miss that? Nope, there it is. Yeah, they hadn't updated the scoreboard. But now it is up, Woodruff officially on top. And we'll see if that score can spur on the Landrum offense a little bit as well. But that tie broken, I imagine they've got at least a little bit more urgency to play with now. And now a long kick downfield. Landrum does bring it back in, but not quite the result they were hoping for, I imagine. And still kind of backtracking a little bit. Moving off to the right side, still loose. And, whoa, that one partially blocked. Got a Cardinal down. And she's back up. And everybody going to kind of take 5 and regroup here. Got a kick pending from Landrum. It'll be from around the 45-yard line on the football field. And this one gets some air miles, still up. And we'll see how this one turns out. Looked like Emily Autorino might have had a shot at it there for a moment, but the window closes. And now Landrum kind of backtracking here. Though Woodruff, if they don't send this out of bounds, they might have a good opportunity. Only 3 Cardinal defenders in front of them. And, yep, this could be good for them. And a nice save there by Landrum. Able to keep this one from getting out of hand with 2 unanswered points in rapid succession. That shot is blocked, and the score is going to remain 1-0. No, it is, however, going to be Woodruff's ball. And another blocked shot there. And now Landrum going to have a chance to boot this one away. And took some gas off that kick, allowed it to fall into the hands of one of those Cardinal upmen, but couldn't quite hang on. Landrum gets the ball back and are kind of backtracking now. And then Ellinger sends that one out of bounds. Out of bounds once more. Not a lot of clean passing lanes at the moment, and Woodruff sends it out of bounds. Everyone going to get a chance to reposition themselves. Ellinger sends it in. Finds Peyton Hawkins, who gets it back to Ellinger. And now Landrum with a small opening that closes rather quickly, and we've got a stoppage. Not quite sure what that was for. The clock continues to roll. About 28 minutes to go in this one. Still very much anyone's game, but Landrum got to find some consistency on offense. They've had a lot of trouble just getting it across midfield at this point, much less getting into scoring range. Woodruff's defense, again, I mean, has been outstanding so far. Landrum's has as well, save for that one bad shot. Or that one bad miss. This one more than likely going to head out of bounds. Yep. Headed out of bounds again. We're starting this trend up once more. That's about how the game started. About 8 straight minutes of cat and mouse between both teams, just kicking it out of bounds whenever they got the chance to try and get a better look defensively. And didn't really have much success. Everybody kind of making their way down the field now. Landrum setting up for a kick and kind of moving to the other side. Not totally sure where they're going with this one, but they sure are winding up for it. And that one gets some nice hang time. Woodruff initially brings it in, and they've still got it. And then it heads out of bounds. And another long kick from the Lady Cardinals. And now Landrum with a solid opportunity here. Got a 2-on-2 matchup up close to the top of the screen, though Woodruff closing in very quickly. And I think that's going to bring that possession to an end. Yep, just as quickly as it started, that one over for the Lady Cardinals. Nothing happening there. We'll see if they can reel back in some of that momentum. Ball is headed backward now, and now Woodruff with a good opportunity. Took a weird bounce off the head of one of those Cardinals. And now Landrum just going to send it away and let everyone get back in position. And Landrum, if they can notch a steal here, they've got a chance to make up some ground. And this one, nope, not headed out of bounds. Oh, now it is. Spun a little too far to the right on that kick. But Landrum is going to get it back. Molly Ellinger sends this one in, takes a Landrum bounce out of bounds. We'll see where she goes with this one. Sends it right into the middle of the field. And this one loose. Not really a good angle for the Cardinals. And it's going to head out of bounds right around what would be the 25-yard line. And now Woodruff with the player down, kind of got hit on that kick attempt from Landrum by mistake. Looks like she's all right, though. And Woodruff now with the chance to reset. Oh, and they've got a really good opportunity here. Oh, and a last-minute save by Landrum. Great block there by the Cardinals. Ball's going to go back to Woodruff, but crisis averted, at least for now. Closing in on the halfway point of the second half. Woodruff going to get a chance to kick this one in, and so it's kind of a weird angle. Landrum had it for a moment, though this one is still loose. Could be anyone's ball. And now Landrum maybe with an opportunity here. Didn't get the best angle off of that kick back in, though this one's still in the open field. Landrum's got a long way to go, but they can do it. And, man, two players collide. Still going. And now this is Peyton Hawkins with a chance. And, oh, just off to the left. I mean, maybe 6 inches from going in. You can't get much closer than that. Great effort there by the Lady Cardinals. Just couldn't quite capitalize. We'll see if they get another chance here. Low kick and probably headed out of bounds. Nope, Woodruff keeps it in play. And they're going to start working right into the middle of the field where there is a lot of Landrum traffic. Landrum gets a nice kick in, and Woodruff gets it back. Oh, ball is loose, and it looks like Molly Ellinger going to be able to bring that one back in. Yep, kicks it out of bounds, and everyone going to get a chance to get back in position. And I think they were trying to work the corner of the field there, and they just end up sending it back out of bounds. Going to be Landrum ball. Got a very long way to go to get back in scoring range, just logistically, all the way on the other side of the field, but doing a good job of staying in bounds so far. all the way out to around what would be the 40-yard line, making great progress. And then two players collide, and Woodruff's going to get it back off of that collision. Whoa, and I think it was incidental contact. It looked like Varsity Upton pushed that Wolverine down, but again, I think they just kind of bumped into each other. And now a penalty kick. That one blocked by Landrum. So we are still at 1-0. Halfway through the second, and kind of a bad kick there from Landrum. They do get it back. Backtracking a little bit. Trying to find some kind of open lane. Working around the outside now is Molly Ellinger, and she makes some nice progress but has it knocked out of bounds. And it's going to be Woodruff ball. Whoa, and one of those Woodruff offensive players got tripped up there. And now another kick attempt for the Wolverines. This one no good. Oh, wait, still loose! Oh, no! Oh, man, Landrum's goalie just dropped the ball on that one. Took a Woodruff bounce, and that was that. Just, I mean, in the blink of an eye, Woodruff up 2-0. Landrum in dire straits now. They really need to find some offense in these next few minutes. And Kabir tries to get it down the field. There are a lot of white jerseys in that part of the stadium, and ball kind of takes a weird bounce. I don't think the players were expecting it to go that way. Heads out of bounds, and Landrum wastes no time in checking it back in. We'll see what the Cardinals have drawn up here. Woodruff maybe with another scoring opportunity. They've got a good matchup numbers-wise, though. The angle is a little lackluster, though. They get it out, and Landrum able to kick it out of harm's way. Crisis averted for the moment. And now Woodruff trying to set up for one. Can't quite get anything going yet. And that one is blocked. Landrum going to have a chance to finally get this one out of their backyard. Feels like it has been there for a while. And this one headed downfield. Woodruff's just going to let it roll. They'll get the ball back. Nope, they're going to call it Landrum ball, actually. I guess Woodruff wasn't quite able to catch up to it. Shot on the goal, heads out of bounds, too far to the left. And now Woodruff going to have a chance to send this one away. And now the kick way down the field. Woodruff making good progress. And now Landrum going to have a chance to get a big kick in. Couldn't quite get it going, and now everyone backtracking. We'll see if Woodruff can get a steal in here. They almost have one. And now heading right inside the box. Landrum got to get rid of this thing, and they send it out of bounds. Varsity Upton with the heads-up play there. And now everybody going to have a chance to reposition themselves. And now Woodruff trying to set up for a shot. They almost had one, but Landrum able to close that window quickly. Again, At this rate, a 3-0 lead might be the icing on the cake for the Wolverines with about 16 minutes left to go in the game. Landrum got to find some offensive momentum, but they've also got to find a way to keep their defense holding up as well as it did in that first half. Woodruff with an opportunity here. We'll see what they draw up. Takes a nice angle when they checked it in, but Landrum able to get rid of it. And now ball is in the open field. Kind of moving backwards a little bit now, though. And got a whistle. Looks like this is going to be Landrum ball. And now this one into some nice territory for the Lady Cardinals, though, headed out of bounds. And, yep, they are really making sure to check this in fast. And I imagine they'll continue to go quickly. Nope, now they're going to slow things down. Ray Upton trying to find a matchup she likes and instead sends it right to one of those Woodruff defenders where it's taken away for a moment by Landrum, and now an odd shot. I think she knew that angle was going to be harsh and maybe overcompensated for it a little bit. Sent it too far to the right-hand side, and now it's going to make its way out of bounds. And now Landrum, not sure if that was a shot or an attempted pass over there to, can't quite make out the number of that player. But regardless, Woodruff able to stop that one in its tracks. And now Ray Upton going to try to reel it back in for Landrum, gets it over to, that's Chloe Dixon, number 9, and this one heads out of bounds again. And now Landrum with a good opportunity here. That ball took a really nice angle off the pass. And some fancy footwork. Landrum maybe going to get a shot in. Oh, and just off the mark. A little to the right. They got a shot attempt in, though. And they are in plus territory. They've done a good job of staying on this side of the field over the past few minutes or so. And Woodruff sends it out of bounds. Landrum going to have a chance to set up again. They need 2 points, and Woodruff content to let this clock roll, I imagine. And, yep, there it goes again. I'm not sure if this is... I haven't been around soccer long enough to know if this is a big-time clock-burning strategy on Woodruff's end or if they're just really trying to make sure that Landrum doesn't score here. But time is going to become a factor here soon, I would imagine, especially if Landrum continues to have to move backward. And they're going to try to send this one downfield again. They've got it out to around the 35. And now we're working along that sideline, trying to get something going. And it heads out of bounds. Landrum checks it in quickly, sends it right over to the Wolverines. This one headed back towards their goal. And still loose. Maybe Landrum with the slightest of opportunities here. And off to the right again. Peyton Hawkins unable to put that one in. And this one headed well into the open field. It is a foot race, and it looks like Landrum, I think Taylor Kelly did win that one, but it heads out of bounds. Landrum's going to get the ball back. Ray Upton able to check that one in, and now a long pass brought in by Woodruff for the time being, and now Autorino gets... Yeah, I mean, Woodruff's player lowered the shoulder there and everything. That's going to be a yellow card. And we'll see what Landrum's able to do here with the penalty. This could be a good opportunity to get everything turned around. Under 10 minutes to play in the second half. I imagine, though, they're going to add a couple more, maybe a minute or so on for all the check-in times, and this especially. This is taking a little bit. Torino sends it downfield, brought in by Landrum, and then sent back across the 50-yard line by Woodruff. Lady Cardinals going to try to regroup. Ray Upton trying to find an open teammate. Can't quite get that window open. And now Woodruff maybe with a chance here. It's going to be a tough shot, and they get it over to the middle. Oh, nice defensive play by Landrum for the moment, but Woodruff does get it back. This one's still loose. Landrum's got it right now. I believe that's Autorino again. And making it back across midfield. This is, I think that's Kenna Kabir, number 13, and headed out of bounds. And now Landrum maybe with a chance here. Oh, and sent it too high that time. Just unable to connect that time was, looks to be for Ray Upton on the shot attempt there. And Woodruff having to backtrack a little bit. Landrum really going for the steal here. They do have possession of the ball, but again, this angle is going to be tough to work with. And it gets sent out of bounds. It'll be Landrum ball. They waste no time in getting it checked in. Woodruff sends it out of bounds again. I think that one was unintentional. And Landrum having to backtrack here, but they do still have the ball. And now I think Upton's going for it all and can't quite get it. Nice save there by the Wolverines. Again, Landrum doing a good job of keeping things on their end of the field, but just can't get that shot opportunity they need. They have not had a clean one. I'd love to say all game. They've had a few that would have been contested, some makeable shots that were tricky, but they have not had that one big opportunity so far like we saw in that JV game. And the search for that opportunity will continue as we tick below 6.5 minutes to go in the second. Molly Ellinger now looking to get something done, passes it over to Taylor Kelly, and Kelly has that one taken away by Woodruff. Upton reels it back in, gets it to Kabir. Who now Emily Autorino going to send it downfield. This one up for grabs. And Landrum able to bring it back in for the time being. And this one now into the open field. Woodruff with an opportunity, really turning on the Jets, and gonna have to backtrack a little bit. Got a shot attempted, and that one is blocked. So the score is gonna stay at 2-0, closing in on the 5-minute mark. Ooh, and that one, you could hear that hit from up here. Couldn't see who it was, but they headbutted that one with some urgency. And now Landrum trying to get something going here, sending that ball into the open field. Peyton Hawkins gets it over to the center, and Woodruff sends it back their way. And now Varsity Upton trying to get this one down the field over across the 50-yard line. This one up for grabs. This is Kara Knight. She might have a chance. Got to make that defender miss, and now it's going to be an awkward angle to work with, and it does go out of bounds. It would have been a very, very difficult shot to make. And Woodruff is going to get a chance to send this one away. And that one does go in, but a whistle sounds beforehand. No points. Woodruff going to try and get this one as far away from their goal as possible. We'll see how much force they can get on this kick. Winding some clock now. Really taking their time with this one. And there's the kick. Kind of tipped there by Peyton Hawkins. Varsity Upton gets a hold of it, sends it back Woodruff's way. And now they're going to get rid of it again. 3 minutes to go in this one. Landrum in dire straits now. Really needing some kind of opportunity here, though. This Woodruff defense has not given them many. They have been very disciplined all night. They have not gotten out of position nearly as much as the JV team did. Been very well coached, and they played a great game defensively. This one headed into the open field. Woodruff's going to be able to reel it in. And now getting ready to send it out of bounds. Nope, stays in. Really straddled that sideline, and now still loose. Landrum wants a foul. Ref's not calling it. Closing in on 2 minutes, and now we've got one. Can't tell if he's holding up a card or not. I don't think he is. And this one brought back in by Landrum's goalie. And now sending it back downfield. About 90 seconds to go in this one. Not counting for any allotted time. This one goes out of bounds. No call on that contact. And now Taylor Kelly going to try to get this one in. And now Landrum with the chance here. Running out of real estate and into the arms of the goalie. Can't get a number on that player quite yet, but that might have been Landrum's best shot. And Woodruff really winding some clock now. Again, the timer on the stream is not official. The referees are going to put a couple of minutes back on the clock to account for time lost to check-ins, injuries, various stoppages like that. The one on the screen is just a general idea of how much longer is left. Landrum got to get something done in a hurry. Though technically not out of reach. They've got a chance here. Oh, what a save. That was impressive. And that will more than likely do it. I cannot imagine there's much more time left in this one. And I think that's going to head... Oh, and we've got some contact between one of the Landrum players and the goalie. They were both going for the ball, and that will stop the clock. Mine's at 0-0. Again, that's not official. Probably going to play on for a couple more minutes, but it looks like Woodruff's got this one in the bag. Ray Upton really having to backtrack to reel this one in. Nice move. And sends it all the way downfield, where it is hit by a Woodruff player and then knocked out of bounds. And Taylor Kelly directing traffic, gets it over to Upton. Upton makes her defender miss and kicks it with her left foot all the way inside the box where it's picked up by the goalie. And again, Woodruff really taking their time here. They have got no incentive to go fast anymore. With the lead really late into the game, priority number one is just chewing that clock whenever they get a chance. Though Landrum getting some opportunities here late. Woodruff letting them hang around a little bit. And that one goes over the goal. Too much heat on that kick. And that will bring an end to this one. So Woodruff able to get the road win over the Lady Cardinals in a defensive showdown. 2-0 the final score. Landrum going to look to regroup and come together later this week. Now, speaking of stuff that's going to happen later this week, we have got a packed streaming schedule for the rest of this week and for the rest of the academic year. All the way through June, we have got just about 4 or 5 games a week, every week, save for spring break. Tomorrow, we're going to be back on Landrum's channel. Baseball is coming your way. The C team and the varsity team taking on Spartanburg Christian Academy starting at 4 p.m. Then on Wednesday, we have got 3 straight Chapman events. Chapman softball versus Burns on Wednesday, baseball versus Greer on Thursday, and then soccer versus Woodruff on Friday. We'll hope to see you guys then. Make sure you subscribe to the Landrum High School Athletics channel and the Chapman High School Athletics channel. Turn on notifications, and that way you'll be notified every time we set up a new stream and every time we go live on one of those streams. For Spartanburg School District 1, I'm Luke Ruff signing off. I'd like to thank all the men at the top for making this possible. Dr. Ron Garner, the superintendent at Spartanburg School District 1, Casey Atkins and Jason McCraw at the district office, and Mike Gentry, the athletic director at Landrum High School, for making this possible on the technical side of things. We will see you guys tomorrow for baseball. Until then, have a good evening, everyone.